Okay guys, now the most awaited video is here. So we'll study Express.js. So you can see I have just googled Express.js and it's showing Express.js or simply Express, whatever you wanna call, is a backend web application framework for Node.js. So as I have already told you, difference between like framework and libraries. So frameworks are like bigger, like they have a lot of functionality as compared to libraries which have less functionality. So it's same way we install packages in node modules like npm install the package name. Here we'll do the same stuff for the express also. It's just like a normal package, but it offers a bundle of opportunities. It is designed for building web application and apis. So you have a question like we study http server, which is was a like a built-in module for node.js. So then why do we need express.js? We can do every stuff with the http server, but the thing is, if you writing a 200 lines of code in http server, the same code can be written in express.js in just 500 lines. So that's first. Secondly, the understanding of the code and the maintainability of the code in express is much more easier. And if you have studied like http server, there was so much request dot on and so much like messy, but here it's just a simpler code. Third, like express.js has a like a big community of supportive community that you won't get in http server. So if you want to go with the http, you are most welcome. So now we'll see express.js. So if we normally go to express.js, so it's the home. So you can see they have shown you the installation process. We just do npm install express. So this dollar is for linux, so if you have like linux machine, you will get a dollar. Okay guys, so I or install express. Then what is save, you must be wondering. So in previous node modules, so not node modules, in previous node version, whenever you install a dependency, it doesn't get saved in package json dependency file. How many modules you install, it won't get saved in your package json file under the dependency key, because they have like bug or they were made like that, whatever you want to say. But so that time we have to write a flag called dash dash save. So if we write any installing like any dependency and add a flag dash dash save, then only that package was saved under the dependency. So that was the main reason we were using the save flag. But nowadays we just don't require save, we can just directly install and it will get directly saved into our package json file. But for the betterment or security, like okay, like they just use the save. Okay, you can ignore or write, it will mean the same thing. Installing we have already seen, and this is like just showing you create a folder, go to the folder, do init, then entry point, install. See, now install express in the app directory and save it in the dependencies list. For example, see the save, but on the dependency it automatically get added. To install express temporarily and not add to dependency list, dash dash no save. But I don't know whether no save work or not, that's I just don't know. And this is a hello world. So we'll just firstly acquire the express app the way we were acquiring in the http server. Then we create an instance, we give the port, and here we are giving the port, we can directly write a number also. Same here, we will say http listen, here also we'll say app listen, and here we'll say app.get or whatever the url is. And what is get the method. So if it's a get method, come here. Okay guys, so let's just start with that. But before that, what version I'm gonna use, let's just see. I'll say npm express because most probably I'm gonna use latest version. So I'm gonna use 4.17.1. maybe if you are using, so it may have changed to like 24 or whatever the minor package. But if there are a major change from, if I change to 5 or 6, then it may create dependency problem. So if you stuck in some problem, just install the same version I'll suggest and rest is up to you. And installation simply npm install express. Then there are 30 dependencies, accepts, and yeah, blah blah blah. So let's just go to the folder, open the command prompt, and we'll say npm install express. We can say install express or iexpress or total install express, whatever you prefer. And before that we'll say npm init. We'll just initialize everything, just do it. We can do it like this also, -y, whatever you prefer. Now we'll just install the library npm install express. We got install. Now we'll do open with code, and you can see we got a bunch of stuff, and see they have so many dependencies using, and this was express and they were using so many dependencies. If I go to package.json, and you can see dependencies, they are using so much, from line 65 to line 94. So it's like 30, around 30 dependencies they are using. I mean, that's so much. So same here, we'll have a file called app.js. Oh sorry guys, I started writing in the node modules folder. App.js. So you can write anything, index.js, app.js, or 123.js, but app.js is the pretty much standard. Now we'll say constant app. You can take variable or let app also, there is no problem, but there is a chance someone may override that, so it's always use like constant, which you sure of you won't use in future. Now the same way we'll say require, and here we'll say express. Okay, normal, the http way. Sorry, here we'll say express, not app, express. Yeah. Now we'll initialize the express. We'll say constant app equals to express. Now the express is initialized inside the app, you can clearly see. Now we'll say, how do we say in http.listen server, something like that. Yeah, here also we'll say app.listen, and we give the ports. So here we'll give the port, or you can just directly say here constant port equals to 4000. Port, and it gives a callback same as http server. Console.log server is up and running. Now how to run it? Simply the way we used to run, just say node app.js. Okay guys, so you can see server is up and running. Now if we go to localhost 4000, so you can see it's showing you cannot get. So if there is not any URL which is not there or something like that, or express can't find this URL, so express by default sent you cannot get. I think that part was missing in http, they just keep on loading. So here they just send you cannot get, that's a wrong URL. Now we'll see how to make a URL. So firstly, there are basically 3-4 types of stuff. So firstly there is app.listen. So what is listen used for? Listening to server, as we are. So this can be any name, it depends totally on you. Okay, na? App listening to server, so as we are listening. Then you have, we use app.get. So it is used for getting method. So whenever you have a get method, we use this. And same as we have app.post for posting data. Then we have dot put for putting data update. Then we have app dot delete for deleting data. Then we have app dot use, so it's more of a middleware type. It's mostly used in middleware type. App dot all for all routes. Okay, so these maybe there are a lot of other, but these are some basic ones you'll use, like for big to big application. You won't go out of these methods, like these will be the common ones. So here, and there is one thing more I just forgot. Suppose in some code maybe you'll see they just do this two steps in one line only. How? Let me just comment this out, change this to app, and as soon as I initialize, like require, after instantly I'll initialize the same stuff. You see, then also see it is running, no problem. You can see clearly server is up and running, but 90% you see this only, like you have firstly acquired the express into express, then say express initialization and get into app. So 90% you will have this only. Okay, now we are listening to app. Now we'll say app dot get, because I want to get, so I'll say app dot get. So I say app dot post when posting data, app dot put delete, So here I'll say on which URL, so I'll say on base URL. Here we write the URL, like in HTTP we used to search if request dot URL equals to slash. Here we have to don't say if else like that, we just say slash. In that also we get a callback. No, we don't get a callback if we use request URL. If we get a callback in request dot on, but here if we say app dot get, if this the URL is same, it will come and match. Okay, URL is same, it will just give us a callback. So we'll get a callback, but basically callback will have three parameters: request, comma response, comma next. Next is basically used in middleware, so we'll study afterwards, so just remove that, just don't think of next. Now request, so request is the data coming as a request, and res stand for response, the data will send for the response. So that's the basic HTTP only, or you can just write full only, but why you write full when you can just do this. And here you just make a function out of it, and you say res dot end, and we used to stringify it, so we'll say JSON dot stringify, and here we'll send an object message hello. Okay, we have send also, then I'll tell you difference between end and send, then you'll know better. So you can see I have to again restart it, so I'll just install Nodemon, npm install Nodemon. So Nodemon got installed. Now we'll say Nodemon app.js. Now if I go to package.json, you can see Nodemon is also running. Now I can remove this is no longer required, and this is we are sending data. Now we are sending to like home page, or so this is the base. If I say, we'll get a message hello world. So this is our API, but you can see we have to like stringify it unnecessary. So if I just remove the stringification and send it directly, save it, and yeah, it's reloaded. See, we got an error. So you'll say obviously you'll get an error because that's totally an object. But when you use res.send, because end is HTTP by default function, but if you use res.send, So Express will automatically convert into application JSON format for us. We don't have to do. And apart from that, they also add headers and a lot of other step. We just don't have to do. But in that case, like in HTTP server, we have to do all by ourselves. Now if I just save it, so it will get obviously reloaded. Okay, got reloaded. Now again I go hit, see, just sending the object, but it's automatically getting converted, so I don't have to convert by default. Now suppose you have sent again app.get, and this time you'll say have a request and response object. And one thing more guys, so these are like parameters, so you can have any name. If you say like this is response and this is request, then also request will come here only and response will come here only. So changing name doesn't affect where the value is getting received. So let this be, and I'll say res dot send, and here I'll send a h1, I'll say. So you can directly send HTML here also. H1 hello world. Save it. Now let's just check whether it's reloaded. Yeah, reloaded. Now if I hit, see, we are again getting the same stuff, and you can see we have sent hello world also and this message also. So that's the basic common thing. Whatever will in the top, it will come and match the URL, so it will say okay this is base, and it will just return it. So whatever will be in the top, it will use that. It, so how many you like app.get you have, or app.post, whatever method, it will just get into one of the app which will come first and just send it back. So now if I switch this data, you can see Control X, if I paste it here and here I paste, now see I'll get hello world because hello world is first. Now if I hit, see I got the hello world. So that's the basic. Whatever how many URLs you have, you will get only the first, whichever is the first. But suppose if you put it outside after app.listen, see, and you have put it here, and you'll say, let me just remove this. Okay, you have directly putting outside. Okay, let me just reload it. Now if I hit the same stuff, but again you can see it's clearly running. I can say hello world 1 2 3, see 1 2 3 running, but that's clearly a wrong approach. You shouldn't do that. But like sometimes I use to go outside, like when there are like I'm using socket, so I have to get this server like details, like we get into server details, and then we use sockets on top of that because we building a lot of route and sockets. So everyone has a different approach, so don't just compare approaches. So but the maximum times you just always be seen like routes will be before app.listen. Now you want to have a different route, say app./about page. So what you'll say, if app.about page, so that's totally unnecessary. Here you can directly say app.get/about, then you have a request comma response, and here you say res.send about page. Now if I hit, see I getting hello world 1 2 3 because I am on the get page, home page. If I say /about, I'll got the about page, and here I should also wrap this in h1. See, but suppose you are going to wrong, so you are going to suppose what do I say, like service page, and that, so you are getting cannot get service. Okay, but we don't provide service, so I want to send the data, like if there is the wrong URL, just send back okay you are on the wrong URL. So for that we'll here in say app dot all, so we'll say for all URL it will check for here and here no match, then we'll say whatever the URL is, and we'll say like this star, and here we have request comma response. Here we'll say res dot send h1, we'll say oops, here I put a br, here put a anchor tag, or let's say just say return to home, we don't serve this page. So now if I go to service again, so whoops, return to home, we don't serve this page. If I say xkgk, if whatever page I like, if it's till it will be wrong, it will just go to whoops. But suppose, okay, that's okay. Now suppose in this slash about you are accepting post request also. So I mean for now we just can't send a post request, so we have to use like postman. So I'll open the postman. So I'll say close, say new request. So currently we are running on http localhost 4000. Now if I send, we are getting h1 hello world, the because we are sending that only. And on about, we are sending about page normal, you can see about page, everything same. But suppose the method I change to post, so I want to post some data and I want to send, so obviously it will come here and send me the oops, return to home, we don't serve this page, because it came here, checked for get, again get, okay, found no post, so it came here and whatever you have it has sent. But suppose in about I want to receive every method, I want to receive I mean we can just say app.post here. If we get the post request also, then also do the same stuff. We have like comma request comma response res dot send, and I'll just copy this message. Now again I'll say post. Okay, it haven't been reloaded, I think. Okay, I have to write about now, yeah. Okay, on about post, so about page. So there are a lot of methods. We have like put, post, delete. So I maybe like every person has their requirements. For person I mean the project. Suppose your project require like whatever the route is, like whatever the method is, just send me, okay, just send the data, whatever the method is, just send me data. So you'll say okay, just write app.all, you'll say like that, just write app.all. So I'll save it. Now again I'm sending the post, and post is not there, and about send, and we are getting the post. If I say head, I don't know it's a real method or not. So okay, it's, I think it's not a real method, so I'll say put, so about page. So you can see whatever we are sending, it's getting all. Or we can say use also. Then also use basically is used when you have in middleware, so that we'll see a later part. So if I say post put, then also it getting the same. So you can use app.all, both meaning the same thing. And if I say app.delete, then also like same, we'll say app.delete and stuff. And yeah, so this was all basic about Express and how to build APIs, and you have seen it was so easy. Just say get, use, all, or post, put, delete, whatever you want to, you just write it here, and you just don't have to say if this. So you can see how much easy it's in Express as compared to HTTP server. So yeah, that's it in this part, guys.